time, right? We get some time to kind of get that gas back up because we're heading into the drafting phase of game 1 of the second best of 3 of the wild cards. We got Insilio up against Legion Esports. They're taking more than 2 seconds to pick chip. It's not a chip. It is a chip, right?
Nah, I told you. I told you. Dude, even in ranked people don't pick up chip anymore.
That is true.
Chip is wrong. Chip is wrong.
It is wrong. I mean, again, when we talk about ranked games, it's not really team-oriented, right? Like solo queue, chip works very differently. But we are talking about a well-oiled machine, a full squad of people who play around for so long. Are we really gonna see chip make it through without getting picked? That would be history in M6 itself. That would be history.
Nah, let me just say. I've used the chip, and you know what it feels?
What?
It actually feels really good.
Well, at least we know that leader will not pick chip.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. I'm being real with you, Husky. Chip is very strong. The damage is good. The gank is good. But come mid game, you don't play front to back anymore. The chip is more used as a flanking tool because the chip gets bursted down so fast. Like the nerf on his armor measures his growth, it actually does hurt. It actually is a big game changer. So the chip is like a more offensive kind of roamer instead of a defensive one. And there you go, Matilda. So no chip.
Wow, chip's gonna make it through the whole draft.
Yep,
wow.
Yep. I told you, man. I told you. You gotta trust me, man. I'll play the game.
Of course I do. I'm just in disbelief.
Hi, disbelief. My name is Lafel.
Hi, Lafel. We gotta savor this moment though. Not sure how often we will see this. Matilda high loss, very decent front line, front to back, and plenty of utility. That means the gold laner has to be a very strong gold laner for Insilio.
I would say needs a lot of DPS. A lot of DPS.
Nathan?
Nathan is a very good shout. Honestly, now that they have the alpha, it doesn't have to be a DPS because alpha can shred the front line. So because you have an alpha in your team, honestly, you can go for anything. You can go for Nathan, you can go for an Iritel, you have a lot of options.
Yeah. I'm not thinking for about Insilio's mid laner. What is going to be the option, right? Because mid laners are going to start banning out. We've already lost 3 of them. Loi being the 3rd.
Something to handle the front lines. Look at this. Something that Insilio can pick up is a 1-1.
That too. In mid
the
lane,
1-1 is good here against Alpha, against Gakdot, against Khalid.
Is Pyraminx good though if you look at mid lane?
It's fine. It's just that the damage is a little bit slower.
Yeah, I want to say Lilia, but we haven't seen that in a long time.
Vexana is fine.
If Vexana goes through. I mean, Legion can still pick it, right? They have to first pick in the second phase.
Honestly, Vexana is fine. They banned out the Valentina. The Valentina is fine as well. But them banning out the Valentina does show that they're going to get a big ult from mid here. So yeah, I'm thinking about the Vexana here.
Vexana, Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
So we talk about the Nathan for Insilio. That one gets banned out. So Legion came well prepared.
Legion, honestly, they have a lot of options here. They can pick up the Claw, they can pick up, maybe the Clan is not the best, but it's something that you can consider.
You probably pick the Clint more as a response than anything, right?
Wait,
whoa, wow, okay.
I thought
they would be the one picking 1-1.
Yeah, so now Legion, they pick up the Bruno, a lot of range, so Insilio, they gotta fight with range as well. Can Flex to not be using a marksman, but I kinda feel like, why not? There's a lot of frontline here.
Yeah.
Honestly, Lunox is fine.
Lunox, Beatrix, if you want to go on the Clint, I think it's not too bad as well. Although I should actually suffer a bit more. Let's see, probably the Beatrix makes the most sense. Yeah, there we go.
And then we're looking at the Vexana or Aurora. Fits quite well in this kind of lineup.
Should be Aurora, right?
Yeah.
Got a lot more AoE control compared to Vexana that has a lot more reliance on the Eternal Guard. Yeah, so it's a trade for both teams.
Which honestly, both mages work really well in each composition. But right now in Insilio, Elos is able to slow down everyone, slow them down fast enough, which is a weird thing to say, to the point where the Beatrix can start scaling up.
Well, we'll find out because this Game 1 is going to be exciting. Game 1 between Legion Esports and Insilio kicking off right now as we head into the land of dawn. We got Insilio on the blue side, Legion Esports on red.
Yeah, right now I want to look at the early rotations here, and looks like the Khalid as well as the Gatakacha, they want some action inside the jungle. But so far, looking at the jungle here, they haven't... Okay, there you go.
There it is.
That's Nart going up against Justinian, and again, just slowing it down, and this is slowing down by quite a lot here, Husky.
Yeah, Matilda needs to come. The Matilda needs to provide some help instantly. Yep, finds the help. And while the early game is still going on, I gotta remind you guys that the M6 pass is available 18th of November until 29th of December. Plenty of free goodies, including a free new special skin for Baxia, the M6 Glory Avatar border, Baxia Battle emote, and of course the Claude M6 exclusive skin, spawn effect, throw effect, statue, and so much more.
Yeah, make sure you guys get it quick. And honestly, just to make it very simple, just keep playing the game.
Yeah, just keep playing.
Just keep playing the game.
Support your team also.
Support your team, and then you'll be good. You'll be all good. But now we're looking at the EXP lane here where Hehe and Joe go in against Maniac.
And revitalized in the time out right now. First blood for Joe.
Yeah. So right now, Legion Esports, it looks like they were able to slow down Justinian quite enough, and they actually capitalized on the advantage on going to the EXP lane. So Legion, they're the one that's actually playing this macro game very, very well.
If my eyes didn't deceive me, they did a lane swap also, right? They put Hehe in that bottom lane as the Vexana into the Hylos, so the Hylos can't clear the way properly, you can't really go onto the Vexana, and the Kali just deals with that mid lane as good as he would in any other lane. So I do like this adjustment. There's an attempted gank on the bot side, but Meow should be stunned up, flickers, quick sun guard to heal back up.
Honestly, the way that Meow has been moving around the map, it does feel like Meow is just a secondary roamer. And so far, I feel like he's going to get his level 4 very, very soon. But Insilio, their mid trio, they're moving quite well as a team. Gnar is taking quite a bit of damage. He has to be careful here.
Gonna be stunned up again, eats the Spear of Alpha, true damage is deadly, survives the sliver of health. Justinian wants to steal the turtle, cannot find it, so Legion Esports gets the objective. Now they continue to put on the pressure in the jungle.
Insilio is actually playing this very, very well. Like, the way that they contested the turtle was in a way that they were going on multiple angles. If they get a kill, they get a kill. If they get the turtle, they get a turtle, but they don't overextend. So I really, like, for me, that was actually quite impressive. The way that they contested without sacrificing too much.
And with the Vexana showing up top, Hehe helps out Daylight, who actually took quite a trade just now, almost losing his life. The Legion Esports, they gonna get off to a very decent start, but adjustments from Insilio, right? Talk about macro, you want to keep Justinian safe, make sure that he has an advantage because he's 2 levels behind Joe.
We're talking about the speed of Legion Esports, and this is why they're fast. Their EXP laner instantly becomes their second roamer. Look at their jungler. Their jungler goes ahead onto the EXP lane, even though it's under 5 minutes, so there's a bit of a penalty there, which, you know, could be good, could be bad, but so far they're handling it quite well.
So Daylight got hardcore in 3 minutes. That is insanely fast. He probably went for hardcore components like at the very beginning, but still. Now you kind of negate what the BO3 can do to you, right? You will never go down in a 1v1. Not with the Atokacha always around you.
Again, look at that. Look at that trophy, man. Look at that trophy. Oh, it looks so good.
Man, I thought the Vexana was about to fly to top side for a second. But yeah, that plaque looks, trophy looks incredible.
Now, I want to see how worth it is this, because look at this Husky. Again, Meow gets out of lane, giving solo goal over to Joe. The only reason why I'm a little bit unsure about this is because he's wearing the Retribution boots, and because of that, the first 5 minutes, you have a penalty. You don't absorb all of the benefits of the minion, so I don't know if it's really worth it or not.
He is still 2 levels ahead of Justinian. So I think
maybe it is worth it.
It is worth it, right? It's so worth it. Look at that purple side. It's completely blocked off. Like, whoever checks this bush, you gotta be ready. So Hylos will have to do the job. Meow is in such a nasty flank angle. Justinian will spot him out eventually. How's his turtle fight gonna be? Circling Eagle, 2-man knockup. Meow will just eat up the front line. There's no turtle contest. Unfortunately for Insilio, the Alpha though, ultimate in. Maniac pulled away, reading stands up to the back. Reaper has to retreat. And now Legion Esports piled onto Maniac. Glorious Pathway revitalized. Another guiding wind to escort him out.
Again, in Insilio, they're playing this very, very disciplined. But we talked about this before the match even started, Husky. Is this the kind of way you want to play against an aggressive team? And maybe we've actually uncovered Legion Esports' secret to moving fast. 3 minutes in, let your jungler grab your EXP lane so that he's unbelievably over farming your opponent's jungler.
Yeah, he is so comfortable right now. First silent priority out for both the XP and the mid laners of Legion Esports. You see the Thunderbelt for Meow. Honestly, I mean, even if you are the Kali, you're not really missing out too much, right? Sure, you're sharing some resources, but the fact that you're securing a decent lead for a jungler, it's not that bad of a thing.
He's not losing levels as well. He's level 7 and Maniac is level 6.
Though I can agree with you with one thing when it comes to the whole is it worth it, is that not that far ahead. It's just 1,000, 1.3k. They got 2 turtles and a first blood. That's all.
Yeah, I guess we have to see what happens in the Lord stage, where if Meow or Joe is really, how do I say, punished by doing this. But so far, everything looks pretty good. I'm just gonna check in terms of their gold. Is there any big difference here?
And the winning prediction did say that for Legion Esports, they got a 66% chance of winning. No, we can't see this. I just happened to come across it on our big screen, but for now, and then Nibiru's passion just to wipe out the wave.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, right? I didn't even notice that there's a win rate prediction live on set.
Yeah, let me just say, Husky, I just checked the item progression, and honestly, the Alpha grabbed his first item, the War Axe, the same time that Suyo grabbed his Counter-Strike. So in terms of item progression in terms of gold, getting the gold, is really not that big of a difference. So in terms of the gold and the EXP, it looks actually quite good for the alpha.
Wow, that's
Wow.
gonna be a big burst on Daylight. Think about playing fast. They understood that, okay, we can't contest objective, but you know what we can do? We can take out Daylight.
Right now, Joe is absorbing the mid lane as well. So now Legion Esports, they got to figure out that they are quite vulnerable in certain lanes, especially when they're moving like this, giving everything over to Joe, which is very, very interesting, which I wonder if this is only possible with the Khalid or they can do this with many different EXP laners as well.
Probably an explainer that can move fast. Tilda, Khalid, maybe CC, someone that can rotate faster. I would say if, like, just to reference what you pointed out, if the first item timing is the same for both junglers, then the only leverage Joe has is levels. It doesn't really matter too much now that you think about it.
Now talk about Insilio, man, because now Justinian has his second item. Lovely, now having the Flash of the Oasis. So Insilio, they're grabbing their items. They're getting to the power spike where they can play as a team and they become nigh invincible because the defenses that Insilio has is a lot.
They are faster on the rotation. They already got the lane swap in. That's the Gato out Raging Sandstorm. Gato still arrives. That's going to be the Raging Sandstorm committed. Flicker by Meow. He wants the backline, but he just ends up going down. Legion were not ready for that.
Dude, that team fight was beautiful. That kiting from Insilio is absolutely beautiful. But now Legion Esports, they take the advantage and they actually go to mid. Now Lovely doesn't look like Lovely is going to initiate onto anyone for now. But the way that Insilio is moving around the map, I would just have to say is very, very impressive. They understand the macro mechanics of a team fight. The way that they kite, the way that they engage looks super systematic.
They do need to start thinking about how to take structures, right? Because Legion Esports, they're still trading structures on the map. All tier 1s of Insilio are down. It does open up the map a bit more for Insilio to start taking control of that that deep portion of the jungle. Unless if they can take out Joe, it would be a big boon. Circling Eagle.
Oh.
They instantly call up the commitment. Maniac even dropped the Flores pathway by realizing there's no way in.
Yeah, I feel like because they saw Meow there where they said it's not a good time.
Yeah.
Especially because the Lord is coming up.
I like that patience, but they gotta wait for the Flores pathway to come off cooldown. So it is going to take some time. That means Legion Esports can easily set up for the Lord with Joe still having a level advantage and all the lanes shelved in.
Looking at the win rate prediction as well here, it looks like 53% for Legion Esports. And they're going on to the Lord. Oh, Flicker.
There's gonna be a Flicker freeze to the back line. The Lord is incredibly low. They do take out Meow though. The retribution comes through. Lord for Legion. Insilio finds two. They sure are looking for more against the Blazers. Joe stunned up, but unfortunately the control is there. Justinian falls. Legion Esports walks away with the objective.
Yeah, because Lovely used the guiding winds and Justinian was able to get it, and that's how they can actually get close enough to really start a fight. The thing is, Don't was far away, so your main damage dealer was not really there. Even though looking at the itemization here, Justinian does have 2 damage items, but apparently it was not enough. So a bit of a mistake coming in from Insilio, where they have been playing basically perfect throughout the game.
There is always going to be this minor downside to a team that wants to play slow, is that if the enemy team is fast at their movement, they're always going to get objective, right? But Joe is going to go down. The Raging Sandstorm does miss, so Insilio able to take out the jungler means that the setup is partially gone. Now that there's no Raging Sandstorm, can more comfortably deal with the Lord on his bottom end. Daylight will try to do as much damage as he can to the structures, but the Banner's Rage committed. Lord goes down. Insilio really didn't lose too much, LaFell.
Yeah, they definitely didn't. Because again, the way that they're moving around the map, they can predict where Legion Esports is going to be, and they're able to defend every angle. Legion Esports as well, I would say, if they were able to control the minion waves a little bit better, making sure that the timing of how it crashes onto the turret, make it so that Legion Esports was able to push Insilio away, then that would have been good. Because Legion Esports, they only have 2 kills so far in the game, and in lead, they don't really have that much of a lead.
Look at the Banner's Rage. It's going to split Nart and Hehe away from their team. And Insilio just instantly retreat. So that's the pressure that we're seeing. And just as a minor detail, right? We talk about how Legion Esports were never really too far ahead. After that whole ordeal of taking the Lord and not being able to find a lead and losing Joe, look at that network difference. It's not even 1,000.
I like that, the fact that Insilio, they're moving as like 3 members, 4 members, but everyone doesn't look like they're really doubting gold, right?
Yeah.
It looks like Don't has enough, Reaper has enough, Justinian has enough. So even if they're moving as a team, they're not punished anywhere in terms of grabbing the gold. So I really like that they understand the movement of the Land of Dawn.
Look at that.
Where
It's
you,
a net negative.
yeah, negative gold earned.
That's all because they caught Joe. And also, Meow didn't have Raging Sandstorm. They couldn't get anything off of that.
And no turrets were taken.
Exactly. Wow.
Well, I think they got me. But other than that,
Yeah, but that one was like way before Lord,
Yeah,
you know?
but either way, it's right now, Legion Esports. It's surprising how they had a lead, but they didn't really go for fights, considering that, again, they're the faster team. And to be fair, it's the Matilda. The Matilda really makes it so that any engage looks bad.
It is a callback to the earlier question of was it worth it, right? I think Joe has completely, or unfortunately, forfeited whatever minuscule of lead that he has. Now we are back to square one, and I even dare say that Insilio finally feels comfortable enough to consider taking a fight against Legion, because they have not been able to get those big engages in. Like, you're looking at Khalid and Gatot have not been landing it.
Yeah, they're playing around this Matilda expert. Like I can see Matilda getting banned out for the next game because so far Lovely has been on point. 0-0-5, 100% kill participation for Lovely on this Matilda, and that's the kills. How many saves has this Matilda had?
Plenty.
Yeah.
Can't count it right now. I mean, Daylight is still aggroing the Lord. So Lord is at max that passive. Gonna have that true damage soon. Trying to bait Insilio into a fight, and now they're gonna full commit to it. Lord's pathway is out. Vexana steals the Lord, or secures it for the team. They do take out Justinian. Fortunately, even for Reaper, tries to flicker, hits the wall. Double kill for Daylight. And now with the Winds of Nature, he is just going forward. And Legion have finally cracked the code.
Yeah, Legion, that was a good way that they were able to pull Insilio out. And Insilio was the one that looked undecisive. They didn't know whether they want to go in or not. When the Lord was so low, Damn Mania decided to go in, but by that time, it's a little bit too late. And Hehe was able to secure the Lord. If he wasn't able to secure the Lord, maybe it would have been a different story.
Yeah. Even Justinian didn't even get to use his retribution, right? I think he got terrified. As we look at the instant replay presented by Kidia, this is a very crucial moment because when they used to run out a lot, Lovely wasn't in position.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at here. And yeah, it does look like Justinian was caught there. And the damage from Daylight, that was the difference maker. Daylight was able to take them down just so fast. The burst damage coming in from this Bruno, the crits are starting to hurt.
You clump up together, you're going to eat that Wordy in the face over and over again. Not to mention the armor reduction. Can they at least keep the inhibitor alive? They're going to use everything from the arsenal, Banner's Rage, Nibiru's Cashin. Joe even commits the ultimate, ends up going down, killing spree for Don't. Good Law and Order stun. Meow also falls, but for Insilio, they do lose an inhibitor.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if it's worth it for Legion Esports to sacrifice two members of the team, especially because it looks like it wasn't all that necessary. I kind of feel like they would have gotten it anyways, but looking at the damage ranking, Don't is doing so much damage, Reaper as well.
He's having a perfect game so far.
I'm surprised that Daylight hasn't dealt that much damage. Not gonna lie, I thought he'd be doing at least 30k by now.
He hasn't been able to involve himself in any fights until that Lord fight, right? It's going to be Eternal Guard committed. They just want to clear the wave. Insilio, they want more than just that, but unfortunately, no wave means no turret.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that was a little bit over.
And they forced it too hard.
Yeah, they forced it too hard because Legion Esports didn't have any intention to fight. They just cleared the wave. I even saw Reaper trying to freeze the turret to potentially push it, but yeah, they weren't able to look at that minion. So that was a bit of a mistake from their end.
Be a bit more patient. I mean, I guess the thing about playing a team or a team that plays slow and very macro focused is that you have to always remain patient, right?
Yeah.
Like, gotta always be composed.
Looking at the differences here, is interesting to see. Both Bruno and Beatrix have the same amount of gold, but Beatrix has not completed her items just yet. This just shows why Bruno is so strong in the early game because he completes his items so fast. The crit items are very cheap in this game.
I think Don't just bought the Hunter's Pride. I think that's the final item.
Yep,
Yeah.
final item.
So basically decked out. I mean, considering he's 3-0-4, right? It did take him a while. Expensive items, but cashing it in 16 minutes into the game. Third Lord coming up. See, they did set up the top wave a bit. Not sure if it's a slow push or not. Or it could just be a neutral lane. A slow push would be great though. Let's see though. This Lord fight is important.
Yeah, honestly, looking at the minions up top, right now it looks
It's pushing
Insilio
in.
favored, but I feel like Legion Esports, because they have the inhibitor, they will eventually win out on that trade. So Legion, they can just wait and then let that minion wave build up and then start pushing in. Because look at that wave right now. Legion's wave is winning just because the inhibitor of Insilio is down.
Yeah, I kind of felt like Insilio should have cleared the full wave instead of leaving it. Now they are kind of racing against the clock, and Legion Esports understands that. Aggro now goes over to Insilio. They're trying to push forward a little bit, looking for Hey. That's going to be the flicker out. They turn around, Purify use. Unfortunately, Lively goes down. It's going to be Immortality out. They take care of Mel. It's going to be 1-for-1 trade thus far. Legion Esports looking to push the envelope a little bit, but zoned out by the Nibiru's passion. So end of the day, 1-for-1.
Yeah, I feel like Legion Esports doesn't have to be that aggressive. Look at that top wave. It's pushing in well, and Joe was able to control the bottom wave as well. So right now, Legion Esports, in terms of the waves, is looking very good. They can actually force this floor, but never mind.
Oh!
Never mind.
Don't!
Why?
What?
Why?
You know what?
Why?
Scratch that. I am very surprised that they decided to fight that, although this wave thankfully was dealt with. I was surprised that Legion decided to do that, right? Like,
Why did Nart move that far ahead? And why are they starting to lord again with less members? They can get punished. Legion can definitely get punished here.
Don't have full items, man. That one runners. This turns everything around, and now, I mean, look at that Meow. Oh, another Renner's apathy. I don't think he can contest the Lord.
Yeah,
Daylight, he's forced away.
Yeah, Daylight really has to look at his health, man, because it's really
Oh my
low.
goodness.
He can heal up. Don't get me wrong, he can heal up, but I don't know. I kind of feel like Legion Esports showing a little bit of disrespect, or they're really just thinking they're much tankier than they are. They have to realize that Insilio is basically decked out. They all have all the items that they need to deal the damage.
Yeah, you look at the instant replay brought to you by Kidia. This is such a weird engagement, right? Weird interaction. And that was sort of a mistake. Like, Daylight could have blocked that shot, so he left his mid laner out to dry.
Hey, he has the same mentality as you. Everyone for themselves.
Exactly. That's how it is. I'm a gold laner. I can't be eating shots like that.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So that's not Hey at all.
Yeah, but now in Insilio, they have the advantage here, Husky. Legion Esports, in terms of wave clear, they're actually quite decent. Oh, but it looks like Lovely wants to go in. Lovely takes a lot of damage.
It's going to be 4v5 though, but there's going to be a top side push as well. So this inhibitor survives. And thankfully for Legion Esports, they clear the bottom side. So end of the day, Legion Esports, they're not going to lose any inhibitors. So not much of an equalizer for Insilio, but gold-wise, they are up almost 4k. 90 minutes in, it's not going to matter too much except for item swaps. We see that for Joe. Going to go into that Immortality after Winter Crown.
Let me just tell you, Husky, the way that Insilio plays is like, their engage is just poking.
Oh, yeah.
They engage to poke and then go back. Engage to poke and then go back. Like, the way that they do it is really touch and go. It's like, I come in, I see what I can do, and then I back off. I never fully commit.
It's like, tag, you're it, you know? It's like, it's like poking at Legion, but without the recall spams.
It's really taking a stick and poking a bear and then moving back as fast as you can.
Ah, I know the perfect reference.
All right.
It's like Tom and Jerry, and Tom is just poking at Spike when Spike is chained up, right? He's just out of range.
Yeah. So far, Insilio is willing to use all the skills available, and maybe this is a Matilda thing. Maybe without the Matilda, they can't really do this kind of playstyle, but it does look like Insilio, they're trying to force mistakes from Legion.
Yeah.
Faking those engages, hoping for Legion to overcommit, and then immediately kite back and then fight. Like, we're starting to see a pattern from Insilio here. The way that they force mistakes is honestly an amazing thing to watch.
And you can clearly see signs of Legion Esports getting slightly impatient, right? Like that Lord dance just now, the second part of the Lord dance was a very clear example. Although now you gotta wait for the third Lord. We'll see what adjustments Legion brings to the table. I would assume that Daylight probably sold his boots at this point.
Yeah, and look at Insilio. They really don't care playing this long.
That.
They have the stamina, man.
That's so fast, man. The guiding wind, that's always a 5-star e-hailing ride. You don't get any service better than that.
Right now, looking at the map, Insilio is covering this Lord perfectly. And we know Legion Esports, both Meow as well as Nart, is trying to find Don't. But Don't so far, his positioning, man, is so hard to catch this guy.
Legion Esports, they do get aggro off the Lord, so Insilio will force the reset. You don't want the Lord to be held hostage by Legion, at least not for now. So Legion's going to be waiting for the top wave again.
Yeah.
Maybe rinse and repeat.
And again, the top wave is winning. Insilio, so far, it doesn't look like they want to be the one making the decision to go. They're waiting for Legion.
But I feel like they have to, right? Like that top wave isn't going to last long. So that's Glorious pathway out already. They get nothing out of it. Someone has to take care of the base. Reaper will have to recall.
Yeah, and Reaper not being in a fight is big because you need your mage for the AoE CC. And now Legion Esports, they're on the Lord again. And another wave is coming in from Legion. This is bad for Insilio.
Yeah, they gotta run it down. They can't even get Justinian into the fight, so Legion Esports just winning out based off of that top side macro. The fact that they had an inhibitor. You asked earlier on, was it worth it throwing 2 lives for the structure? It is paying off.
Oh yeah, paying off dividends. And Insilio so far, their indecisiveness, or I would say their whole strategy of making your opponents make the first move hasn't been doing well because Legion, they did the same thing. They waited for that high loss to engage and then they just backed off. They're just like, oh, thanks for using your all. I guess we're all good. The top wave is pushing in. We see no Aurora. We can move forward.
I suppose there's such things as too patient. You see, I mean, I agree. I'm looking at Insilio to be the one to make the first move. They have the tools to do so. But if this Lord goes down without a single inhib take, it doesn't feel too bad for Insilio. And that feels like it's going to be the case. This mid wave is going to go down for sure. Glorious pathway forcing out a flicker from He. We're back to square one. Longest game so far in the wildcard, 23 minutes and counting.
Dude, Insilio is so good at defending. They're so good at turtling in. Even without this whole base situation, so far, every single team fight, they make sure that they get out on top. I mean, look at the kills, Huskies. 10 to 5. It's 10 to 5, full items, and yet Insilio is playing this like it's the mid game.
The fact that Legion Esports had to throw 2 bodies for an inhibitor just to come back to the start of the state of the game really just shows you that Insilio has gotten it down to the T. I guess the lucky thing is that all previous Lords, at least the previous 2 Lords, have been spawning bottom side. The upcoming one is also bottom side.
Okay, what kind of RNG is this?
I'm telling you, that is the only thing keeping Legion Esports, you know, like breathing a sigh of relief, like, oh, thank goodness, we don't have to deal with the top side. Anything that spawns top side, it's gonna be a different story.
If I was Insilio, I'll be trying to force 1 inhibitor here. I mean, like, looking at the bottom, it's very, very low. Like, at least 1 inhibitor for 1 inhibitor. You don't make Legion Esports win every single time the Lord Dance comes out, right? I feel like they have to figure something out. Because if not, they really need to get someone up there and deal with 2 minion waves so that they feel, you know, breathable.
It is a job for Justinian and Justinian alone. And that's the thing. I mean, at this stage of the game, you're dealing with the buffed up minions. They are incredibly durable.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which is funny because when you consider you have full items, you think you would one-shot everything. No, not the minions.
No, the minions beat you.
the minions have 6 Sky Guardian helmets.
I think the timing for him to kind of split that map has already passed, for sure.
Yeah.
Now you just feel the pressure of, oh my goodness, this minion wave is so hard to take down. But on the flip side, if he did set up a double wave somehow, then it benefits Insilio a lot more, right? Because it takes so long to die.
Yeah, but we can see here. Look at Daylight. Daylight is going to deal with that single minion, and the push is just gonna start all over again. Yeah. Legion Esports. Oh, minion goes in.
I'm thinking of that. I think you gotta do it fast. Do it fast, or at least force Legion into an uncomfortable spot. So Maniac, he's gonna throw his body for this for sure. Look at that. Losing most of his health. Unfortunately, they just don't have the resources. They put themselves in an awkward position. No glorious pathway. Legion Esports gets possession of the Lord again. Justinian gotta do something. Reaper flickers in, fight the freeze and the Lord. Are you kidding me?
What?
It's such a crucial moment. Reaper is the death dealer. And Legion Esports loses Joe. And Insilio have found that moment.
What was that Reaper? Oh my god, talk about an MVP play. He even sold his Winter Crown for the immortality to make sure that he stays on the map. Reaper, that was game-changing.
And it potentially game-ending. When you look at the irony of the name, definitely Reaper. They're reaping the rewards of that play, and now Insilio is not about full steam ahead. You got more than half a minute on Hey, 40 seconds on Joe, almost a minute for Meow to come back. Time to run down those lanes, get that top inhibitor, stabilize the state of the lane, and more.
Yeah, but right now it looks like they want mid. Maybe they're gonna try to end this now, Husky. It's 26 minutes. This is a full item Beatrix. They want to force this. They want mid. They want to end the game right now.
And demolish that mid turret. There's a very good chance, Nard, with the taunt, not enough. Another Grower's pathway, this one setting them up for success. Insilio weathers the storm and takes game 1.
Insilio so far with their macro gameplay, their discipline, they're able to win game number 1. But let me tell you folks, it was not an easy game.
Sometimes it just takes one moment.
We're gonna look at the game MVP here, and it's Reaper. And in terms
To make that move, but hey, Reaper decided to take matters into his own hands.
yeah, looking at the highlights here, look at Reaper. He's the kind of guy that will not hesitate to flicker forward and start something. Where he hasn't been really doing that a lot. And the engage here, Legion died because of the Aurora ult.
We did also compare both the Vexana and the Aurora, where the Aurora you just get a lot more of these AoE controls, right? Like it feels a lot more comfortable dealing with this tight space, and I do like the fact that it's utilizing it to the max.
Yeah, and
Yeah, this one was the weird one. Look at that.
yeah, I don't know why Legion Esports was moving that way. Hold on.
It was the hailstorm.
No. It's two things. Joe made a mistake as well.
He retry early, right?
He retry early, so it wasn't even.